What's up, guys? Nandemo guy and my cousin Monday Hopscotch. We're just going to go over a few questions about our overall thoughts of our 8-day Railpass adventure in Japan. Yeah, expectations. Most of my time I'd only spent in the Kyushu areas, but yeah, I had no idea what Tokyo was going to be like, what Sapporo was going to be like. So I was pretty open to whatever happened. I didn't really have any massive expectations other than to have a good time, and I think that was successful.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, I've never been there before, so of course I had pretty much no idea. I mean, you see what you see here as far as the sort of stereotypical Japan, which I guess you could say is mostly kind of Tokyo culture.
Right.
So I was like, I knew it's not all like that, but I've never been anywhere to prove my suspicions true, so I had no idea what I was getting in for, but it turned out to be a pretty sweet trip.
Yeah, so Sapporo, something I don't like to talk about. No, not really. It looked pretty bad, and I guess overall it did kind of suck, but a lot of that was my doing, as well as it being our first day. We had a certain amount of money that we kind of took with us, and honestly I had no idea how much I was going to spend during the trip. So the first day we could have caught a taxi to that park and realized it wasn't nothing was going on, and then took a taxi right back. But as it were, we ended up walking both ways.
It was easily like a 2-hour walk at least each
Oh
way.
yeah. And it was cold. We're from Colorado, so we expect the cold. And it's funny because when we were getting off the plane in Sapporo, the stewardess was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for you. You will be so cold."
About that.
And I was like, we're from Colorado. But just before we got to the park, I was pretty damn cold.
Yeah, it didn't feel that bad, but it just slowly set in.
Yeah. In fact, on our way back, we stopped at this store called Down on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We thought we might buy some jackets, but we didn't end up finding anything. So
Beat up North Face coats for like $120.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, looking back at Sapporo, had we done it differently, we still could have seen the beer museum and done some other stuff. But we were cold, tired, so when we checked into the hotel, we ended up just crashing for the whole night. So.
Yeah, like 7 o'clock or whatever. Didn't we miss the beer hotel? We stopped by and did we get curry?
We got
right
curry.
after we landed?
Nope, we got curry when we got back. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's what pushed it over the time limit, because we literally missed the
beer
brewery
museum
and stuff, all that by like half an hour. It's like, I think the restaurant was open for a little longer.
Right.
That, so
I mean, my thoughts, to be quite honest, it ended up being the lowest point on the trip, but at least it was right at the beginning, I guess. At least for me.
It set our expectations low, so everything else was just really good.
Yeah, it couldn't have gotten much worse than that.
Favorite activities, let's see. Probably, I mean, in general, Tokyo was pretty sweet, just because, I mean, that's what everyone thinks of when they think of Japan, so getting to see a crazy amount of people, and I mean, the subways alone were quite an experience to get on the busy subways, and we weren't there at the busiest times, but
right,
that kind of stuff. But, I mean, that was pretty fun. I mean, there were some really one-off things, like the monkey dinner was pretty awesome. Definitely probably won't be able to do something like that again, so just cool experiences for sure. Obviously, the whole trip is kind of a pretty sweet experience, but things that were exceptional above the rest. But I think those two pieces were about the best.
Right. I think one thing that stood out to me was when we went to Nikko. I had been to other locations in Japan that are like that old style. But what stood out at this place is that, I mean, we were like out in the middle of the woods, and it felt like you weren't anywhere near civilization. It was just really weird how...
It was in Nikko where we found, next to the supermarket, whatever you want to call it, was that little path that went up the mountain to all those like shrine things.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
crazy.
About that.
Let's see what's up there.
Walking down, look back behind the building, there's like this arch back there. We're like, a staircase going up the mountain. We're like, I wonder where those stairs go. Let's go check it out.
Least favorite. Okay, I'm gonna take Sapporo out of this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna not even consider Sapporo.
That's gonna change my answer probably.
Right. Not that it was my least favorite thing in total, but one thing that was a fairly decent letdown for me was when we went to Fuji-Q Highlands. The one roller coaster that I really, really, really wanted to ride.
The only one you could really see when you were getting up to the park.
Yeah, it was being repaired that day.
Yeah, under maintenance.
Under maintenance.
Okay.
So that was probably my least favorite thing in general outside of Sapporo, I think.
I got nothing off the top of my head. It was all pretty awesome as far as...
Right.
I can't really complain about any of it because it was all...
It was all brand new for you.
Yeah.
I would want to go to Fuji Q Highlands again and ride that freaking roller coaster.
Call ahead and make sure everything's open.
Yeah.
All the rides are available.
Actually, I changed my answer. If we wouldn't have gone to Sapporo, I really would have wanted to have put a better effort into climbing Mount Fuji.
Yeah, that actually, yeah, I would definitely say that would be something that we would have made time for if we could have.
It was like the week after our trip ended, Mount Fuji was entered into the UNESCO World Heritage Sites or whatever. So it would have been pretty cool to have climbed it before that happened, but so.
I wouldn't say I regret not climbing it though. I mean,
right.
Our legs were pretty dead from walking, all the walking we did, but definitely make time for it if we did it again, or redid it, I guess.
So I'll leave this one to you, because since this was your first trip.
Most surprising thing. There's some weird subtle things like shopkeeps and tipping at restaurants and things like that just you don't realize at first, but then you go there and you go to a restaurant and your food's $10, so you give them $10. It's like,
yeah,
that was awfully easy. Also, the amount of cash, which I mean goes for tourists in general. It's not like you're going to get a credit card in Japan or go to Canada with the Canadian credit card stuff.
Right.
So having cash and just seeing how much cash people carry around and just buy everything with is kind of cool. That trip was amazing to me. It was way more fun than I realized it would be. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't have expected it to, having like a week-long train vacation, I guess you could say, across the whole country. I'd recommend for anybody who's considered doing it, you definitely should give it a try. And there's just tons to see out there. I will comment one thing is, obviously it's nice to have somebody who's fluent in the language to help you out. Unless you're out of major cities and stuff, English is not as common as you'd think it was. So
yeah, in fact, one of the things we met these two girls from California at the monkey restaurant that they were like so lost. It was like the total fish out of water thing. And most people, at least from the United States, most people have the impression that Japanese people learn English in school, so everybody can speak English over there. It's not the case. You get outside of major areas, you might run across people that speak English, but it's definitely not the norm. So definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, the overall impressions of just the 8-day trip were great. You know, you were even there for a little bit more than a week after that too. Mm-hmm. So we did a bunch of stuff in Kyushu. We've got a video coming up where we went fishing with my friends and got blitzed on some alcohol.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming up here at some point. But yeah, I mean, so much cool stuff. We went to Monkey Mountain. That's something that we'll be putting up to. I know I had a good time. So.
It was a blast. You can do it. I guess it's a U.S. thing. You can get a train pass. It was only like $280 or whatever for the entire unlimited use of the JR rails, at least. Excellent value if you plan on traveling all over the place there. Yeah, the JR Railpass, as long as you're entering on a tourist visa, you can get them, but you have to like order them ahead of time, like before you get into Japan. So look up your get online and look up any of the travel agencies or whatever, or just look up Japan Railpass, and you can order them. You'll basically get a voucher. It looks like a plane ticket that you just take into any one of the major train stations, or some airports do it as well, and you can exchange it for the actual pass. And they have them in different like flavors also, like a 7-day, a 14-day, and some other ones. But I mean, the amount of travel we got done on a 7-day pass was just ridiculous. I mean, even just to Tokyo, like paid for half the train tickets right there.
Oh yeah. We went from the north island of Hokkaido all the way down to Kyushu in 7 days, and everything in between is just insane. So definitely the way to do it. If you guys have any questions about any of the things that you saw or maybe even didn't see, put them down in the comments. Of course, likes are always appreciated. But yeah, keep an eye on the channel. We got more stuff coming up. Nandemo guy.